Hello, the topic of today's discussion is types of SQL queries, DML, DDL, and DQL. Before knowing about types of SQL queries, let's know about what is SQL queries. So let's see the formal definition of SQL queries. A SQL query is a structured command used to interact with the relational database. It allows the user to retrieve, insert, update, delete, and manage the data within our database. There are five types of SQL queries. The first one is data query language. Second one is data definition language. Third one is data manipulation language. Fourth one is data control language. And the fifth one is transaction control language. So for the lecture, we will only discuss as data definition language, data manipulation language, and data query language. So let's learn about data definition language. So data definition language is a subset of SQL that allows the user to define, modify, and manage the structure of database objects. These objects can include tables, schemas, indexes, and constraints. So for for example, let's say we want to create a table of students which will contain the records of student. So in order to create the table, we will use the DDL command. So let's see the DDL commands. So we have four main DDL commands. First one is create, which is used to create the database objects like indexes, constraint, or table, etc. Second one is alter, which is used to modify the existing database objects. And the third one is drop, which is used to delete the database objects permanently. And the fourth one is removed. Truncate, which removes all the records from the table. So in order to demonstrate these commands, let's move to the Postgres workbench. So create command. First we will create our database, and the name of our database will be college. We will execute this command. I forgot to mention the name database. So the name of our database is Scholar. So as you can see, we got the success message. So Postgres has created a student database for us. So now we will go on and create a table within this database. The name of our table will be student, and now we will define the types of data that will be stored inside this table. We will define the name of the column, the data type of the column, and the constraints of the column. Since we are creating the database for the student, we will the student will have ID, which will be integer type, and the constraint of this column will be primary key. That is, it cannot contain duplicate values or null values. Next, the student will have name. It will be a string value, so we will use varchar data data type, and the constraint will be not null. And then each student will have department, which will be again a string value, and we will provide a default department which will be CSE, and then we will also give grade. Let's skip the grade for now, and we will have 3 points for 3 points here now. So let's execute this command. So let's execute this command. Make sure that you you write it in single quotes. So we got the success message. And now, in order to demonstrate other commands, let's insert some data into it. As you can see, I have inserted two two rows inside the database. So we will learn about this insert command in the following lecture, in the upcoming slides. Let's just ignore it. So we have used the create database command. Now we will go on and use the alter and drop command for our database. So let's know about alter command. What alter command does is to alter command mm, allows us to modify the existing database objects. It allows us to change the data type of the column. It allows us to add new columns. It allows us to delete the columns from the tables. Let's see the example of alter command. We'll use the alter keyword. We will write the table keyword and we will mention the table we want to alter. And let's suppose I want to add a new column which will be grade, and the name of the column will be grade, and now I will give the data type for it, which will be varchar 10 with diff. Let's execute it. So see, the table has created, and in order to see whether the table is new column is added inside our table or not, let's see whether we are getting the grade column inside our database. So as you can see, we have ID, name, department, and the grade column, which is currently set to null. We can add some values inside. You can see I've used the select command here. We will know about this select command in the data query language, uh, which will come in the further lecture. So mm, another use of alter command is we can change the data type, or we can change the data type of the column. Alter. If I want to change the here I mentioned that the column which whose data type I want to change, and then I will mention the data type of the column, which will be, let's say I want to make it integer. So here I am getting cast error because first I have mentioned that it was a character, then I want to change it to integer. So let's skip. And if we want to change the if we want to delete some column, we can also do that with the alter command. So as you can see, it has successfully changed the name of department column, depth column to the department. And if I want to delete any column from our table, we can also do that with our enter keyword. Drop column, and we will mention the name of the column. So I want to drop the grade column that I recently added. So it has successfully deleted the draw grade column. Let's see whether it has been changed. It changed our database or not. So you can see, we don't have a column name grade since I have deleted it, and the name of depth column is changed to department. Our next command is drop command, which is used to delete the database objects. So it will allow us to delete our table as well as deleting our database. This will be the syntax if you want to delete the student table. I will not be doing that because we'll be using the student table in the further lecture. And if we want to delete our database, which is college, so we will use drop. So these are the illustration for data definition language commands. Let's move to our next slide. So next we will discuss about DML, data manipulation language. So data manipulation language is a subset of SQL used to modify and manage the data within the tables. DML commands allow the user to insert, update, and delete the records from the database. Uh, for example, let's take our previous example in which we have created the student table. Let's suppose I want to retrieve the information. Let's suppose I want to insert the information of students. Then that can be done using the DML command. Or I want to update the specific student information, or a group of student information of a group of student. That can be also done by the update command. If some students left, we can delete their records by using DML statement. DML command. So let's see most common DML commands. So the DML commands which are mainly used are insert, update, and delete. Insert command is used to add the new record or new records or rows inside our table. The update command is used to modify the existing rows based on the specific condition we specify in our query. The delete command is used to uh, remove the records or delete the record from the table based on our query. So let's move to the Postgres workbench and demonstrate these commands. So in our previous example, as you can see, I have used insert command in order to insert the data inside our student table. So let's insert some more information inside our student table. We'll specify the values which will go inside the inside our student table. As you can see, I have listed down the data for the student, and now we will insert it inside our student table. So it has successfully inserted 5 records inside our student table. Now if you want to retrieve this data, retrieve the if you now the next SQL command is update command. Suppose we want to Suppose we want to change the department of let's say Noor. So we can do that using update command. So first we will write the update keyword, then we'll mention the table we want to retrieve the data from, and we will use the set command, and now we will provide the fields or data we want to change. Let's say I want to change the department of Noor to, let's say, a mechanical. Let's execute this command. It has successfully updated. So it has successfully we got the success method. It means that it has successfully updated the record. Let's see whether it has updated or not. You can see the department of Noor is ME, and the department of so we made a mistake back there. We didn't specify uh, we want to change the department of ME. So by default, it has changed everyone's department to mechanical. So let's let's change the department of Noor again. So now I want to change it to electrical, and we will specify that we only want to change the department of Noor. Otherwise, it has updated everyone's department. So where name is equal to Noor. So now we have specified that we want to change the department of Noor. So let's execute this query. So it has successfully updated one record. This means that now the department of Noor should be electrical. So as you can see, the fifth record, Noor, has the department value equal to electrical. So yeah. So let's execute one more update command. We will update all those department of all those students whose ID is greater than 5 and less than 2, and we will make it equal to CSE. So all those students whose ID is greater than 3 will have the department value equal to CSE. So it has successfully updated four records. So let's see. As you can see, 4, 6, 7 and 5 has the department value equal to CSE. So the next command in the DML commands is our delete command, which is used to remove the record from the tables based on the specific conditions. So let's say I want to delete the information of KK. So I will write delete from student. Now we'll specify which student I want to delete. If I only write this, this will delete all the records inside the our student table. So now we will specify using where clause where the name is equal to KK. We got the success message. Let's check whether the KK is still there or not. So as you can see, RK is there, but KK is gone. We have only only six records inside our database, and since the ID of KK was 2, so we have no student with the ID 2. Let's see next D. Next we will learn about DQL, data query language. So DQL also stand for DQL. DQL also stand for data query language. Is a subset of SQL used to retrieve the data from the database. The primary command in the DQL is select command, which is used to fetch the data from one or more tables. So suppose we want since let's take the previous example. We have the student table. Suppose we want to retrieve the data of a specific student. That can be done using the DQL command. And the primary DQL command is select statement, which is used to fetch the data from our tables or from one or more tables. So let's see the DQL command. As I've previously mentioned, the primary DQL command is select command, which is used to fetch the data from one or more tables. So let's move to our SQL workbench and see how it can be done. So now I will demonstrate how to use the select command. So in the previously I was writing select star from the student. Since we haven't specified any condition here, it will give us all the records which are in the student table, but we can retrieve the data from our student table conditionally based on the specific condition. So let's try to retrieve all the students from the student table whose department is with, let's say, ME. We got the answer, and we got two student name and AB whose department value is equal to ME. So suppose we only want to retrieve the name of the student, so we can also do that. We will mention name, we will mention that name, only retrieve name from the student table whose department value is, let's say, CSE. And we got the our result. So we have Harsh, Kunal, RK and Noor, four students whose department is CSE. So the DDL commands are commonly used. DQL commands are used along. So now we will learn about common SQL clauses. So there are four SQL clauses: where clause, order by clause, group by clause, and having clause. There are other clauses also, like clause or offset clause, but for now we will focus on these four clauses. So what are SQL clauses? So SQL clauses are the condition or the filters which are used with the SQL queries to refine the data retrieval process, to make the data retrieval process more ease, more better. So in the let's example, we want to retrieve the data in such a way that we have the name of the department and we have the count of student who are in that department. So if we use the simple SQL query with the select statement, that will be much difficult. But if we use SQL clauses with it, it will make the process very much ease, and that will be done by group by clause. So first we will use the where clause, and we will see the where clause. So what where clause does is filters the rows based on the condition we have specified. And in our previous example, we have used the where clause extensively, where we have defined the condition. The first condition we defined was department value should be mechanical, or the second condition we define the department value should be CSE. So let's see some more example of where clause. So suppose I want to retrieve the information of the student whose ID is greater than, let's say, 5. I want their name and department. I will define the table name, and now I will write the condition. And the condition is their ID value should be greater than 5. So let's execute this command. So we got two students, Kunal and RK, whose department value, whose ID is greater than 5, and we got their name and as well as the departments. So let's try to find the name of students and the ID of students from the student table. Whose department is let's say electrical. Since we have no student with the department value equal to electrical, we will get no records. And as you can see, the records are empty. Now we will see the next SQL clause, which is order by clause. So what order by clause does is sort the result in the ascending or descending order. By default, it sorts the result in ascending order. So let's see some example of it. Suppose I want to retrieve all student from the student table and order them by department. As you can see, it has a it is it is us it has sorts the record in the ascending order based on the value of department. Since Harsh, Kunal, RK and Noor has CSE department and NA and AB has ME department, so these four records comes above the ME other two records. If you want to sort the result in descending order, we can specify it, but by default it sorts the result in ascending order. So now I want to sort them based on their IDs, but I will sort them based on their IDs, but the result should be in descending order. Let's see. As you can see, RK has the highest ID, which is 7, and NA has the least ID, which is 1. So RK is at the top and NA is at the bottom. So next we will see the group by clause. So what group by clause that is aggregates the data. It groups the data based on the value of the specific column. So let's say I want to retrieve the data based on the specific columns and then group the similar type of values together. That can be done by group by clause. Uh, in order to have clear understanding, let's suppose I want to see which department has which department has how many number of students. So we will use group by clause for that. Let's say I go there and I write the SQL query for it. I want the name, I want the department and the count of students. Don't forget to add a comma here. Count of and I want the department and count of IDs from student table. We will group them by the value of their department. Let's execute it. As you can see, the CSE department has 4 students and ME department has 2 students. Let's say I want to have the we can use order by clause with it. Let's use it. Order by, I want to order them by the department name. So the CSE will come above and and ME will go down. So as you can see, we got the result. So the next SQL clause is having clause. So what having clause that it filters the aggregated data. In the previous clause, we have seen the group by clause, which groups the data and aggregates them. So as we get the aggregated result, if we want to filter it more, that can be done by having clause. We cannot use where clause for that, but for that, if we are working with simple records, we can use where clause there. But if we want to filter the aggregated data, we will use having clause. So let's say I want to retrieve the data of only those department whose count is greater, whose number of students are greater than 3. So let's retrieve that. I will mention the department and the count of, and I want the count from the student table and the group it by department. And now we will write the having clause. We will mention our condition inside the having clause. So I want the count of department, count of ID greater than, let's say, 3. So it will what it will does, it will filter out all those department who has more than 3 students. So our result should be CSE. Let's see. So I forgot the comma here. We got our result, which is CSE, and the CSE department has 4 students. Now we have covered the common SQL process. Thank you. That's it for today.